Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Chris Leader of Calliope Games. We're going to be talking about Richard the Reich's Thieves, which this is not how it's published, actually, in a stand-up plastic form.
It's a new type of packaging.
That's right. This is a game coming out from Calliope, and you're highlighting it here at Gen Con 2015.
Absolutely.
I was hoping you'd give an overview of how to play.
Sure.
What we're doing in the game.
When you play Thieves, all players, it's 3 to 6 players. You are a band of, wouldn't you know it, thieves.
Okay.
You have just committed an incredible crime. You've knocked off banks, you've cracked safes, you've just got so much great stuff.
That's
and you're
right.
trying to make a break for it, but guess what? The cops are hot on your trail. So when you play the game, you'll be sporting a whole bunch of different types of loot.
Okay.
And the loot will range in value, 0, 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
And it's a pretty simple flow of the game. You'll have 3 cards in your hand, you'll draw one, and then you'll play one. If you're going to play one of these cards in front of yourself in your stash, you're going to play it face down, so no one knows what it is.
Okay.
But if you play it in front of somebody else, you're going to play it face up.
I assume because we're going to whack them.
That's right. Well, you don't want to have the best stash. You want to be the best thief there is,
Okay.
but not yet. Because
Okay.
the thing is, as your stash grows, the police presence also grows. So some of the other cards that you might play will be police cars.
Okay.
So there are police cards that have 1 helmet and police cards that have 2 helmets. This is a stash, or not a stash, but a pile on the table that grows. And once you get to 4 helmet icons, a bust happens.
Okay.
Everybody reveals the stash in front of them, and the police confiscate the biggest stash.
Okay.
So as you play the game, you're building your own stash, but trying to keep it just enough so that you're just below the leader.
Okay.
And so
I have to get under you?
that's right. You got to get under the later.
All right. This game took a weird turn. It's a party game.
It got a little.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Okay.
There's also some interesting loot. There's some special stuff. There's a ring.
Okay.
Now the ring is very hot. This is a very, very valuable ring, and if the police find it, it's going to be worth 3 during a raid. But if you have this at the end of the game, it's really hard to fence this ring because it's so hot, and it's only worth 1 point.
Okay.
However, the horseshoe during a raid is only worth 1 because the police aren't looking for some horseshoe.
Golden horseshoe.
It turns out it is solid
Wow.
gold, and it's worth 3 at the
Who would've
end.
guessed?
So this one during the game, you don't really want. This one, you really want.
Okay.
Now, as thieves, you have some tools at your disposal, some things you can do. You can play the fortune card. This is going to let you draw the top 2 cards off the top of the deck, but you have to play them immediately. So it could be good, could be bad. You can also play the thief card, which lets you move 1 loot card from one stash to another. If it's face down, you'll flip it up. So if you've got that ring that nobody wants, you might be able to slide it on over to somebody else,
Okay.
or you might be able to get the horseshoe for yourself. You can also do some things with the police. You can trigger a raid, basically, by playing a siren. All players have to play any police cards in their hand, and once you get to 4 of those helmets, you're going to have a raid. Or you can play a barricade if the heat is just too much, and you can clear all police cards that are growing and building on the table.
Okay.
Now finally, the last card that's available is the getaway car. There are 8 of these in the deck. Slide these off. There are 8 of these in the deck. Anytime one of these gets drawn, you immediately play it to the table in a permanent getaway car lineup.
Right.
And once you get to 7 of those, that's the end of the game.
All right.
So as you get closer and closer to that 7th getaway
you get a
car,
little more risky in terms of what you're
exactly,
trying to
but
get
you're
on the
also
table.
balancing because someone might have a siren and might pull a bust at the last second right before that car comes out.
All right.
So this is it's a quick playing game. We actually have it so you can play 1 round of it in about 10-15 minutes, but we're also going to include little loot tokens in the box. So you can play it like Love Letter, where when you win a round, you get 1 of those, and the first person who gets 2 of those will be the big winner. So you can play multiple rounds of this.
That's right. All right. Thanks very much for the overview.
That's Thieves.
Very, very straightforward. That's what we're doing here. That is Thieves.